one of the things that's humbling me these days is max conversion bidding. So basically, the thing that's surprising me these days is um, how high performance max conversion bidding is working when you set it up a certain way. And what I don't know, Chris, is I don't know if this is just a handful of campaigns I've seen, a handful of accounts in a certain amount of industries, and I'm just seeing some really, really good results, or if this is what's going on where with max conversion bidding is working really well these days. But what are you seeing? Are you seeing that sometimes more than, like, is it striking you as more than you had seen it work before? Is this
Yes.
surprising to you? What's going on with you and max conversion bidding?
Yeah, I think so. With max conversion bidding, what's surprising to me is that I have seen new campaigns launch with max conversion with zero conversions, and
Wow.
it
Okay.
will maintain as if it's like not max clicks. It's not riding at the lowest CPC it can get. It's riding at like this mid tier. It's ready. The RPMs are revved up, to 7,000. But whereas max clicks, it might be at 2,000. It's just barely idling. It's just getting as many clicks as possible. So I'm surprised because right now it's max conversions and it might have zero conversions. And it's like, well, how are you measuring success? How is this max conversions? And then at some point with some accounts, it might start getting conversions, even though, a manual campaign had not been doing that before. And that surprises me. It
Yeah.
surprises me. It happens again. I cannot put my finger on when and why it would happen, but that's the thing I always say. That's why
Mm,
it's important to do
mm.
experiments. It's important to keep
Stay humble,
trying
honestly.
different things, try
Yeah.
new things, and see what you might be able to get. It surprises.
Well, what strikes me is that Google went through this phase with bidding, where there were so many options. Like, there were so many options, and there was a get the most conversions possible option, but then there was also a target CPA smart bidding option. There were like multiple options, and I think recently, Chris, they
Yeah,
consolidated,
yeah,
and like the smart bidding went away, like target CPA on its own, but then you could have max conversions. Now you can have maximize conversions, and then layer on a target cost per conversion
yeah.
max that you want, or a target cost per
Target
conversion to
target
go for.
yeah, target CPA is now just max conversions with a purpose.
With an option, and you don't have to have that target CPA on there,
Right.
but unless you're just starting out and you don't know what your conversion range should be, cost per conversion range, I don't know why you wouldn't have a target on there. But it's so interesting, Chris. Not only did we have the consolidation of bidding strategies, but we also had this whole new way of looking at conversions and the group of conversions. Like, these are our website conversions goals, or these are our phone call conversions, and they start grouping conversions together. And then you have to select what kind of conversions you want it to optimize for at the campaign level. And if you don't, it'll go to the account level conversion goals, or whatever they're called, and then you can select individual goals for individual campaigns. But it looks at that, and there's all these new features, and I just think, Chris, like, all that's coming together to make maximize conversions, at least what I've seen, work well. And the places that I've seen it work the best in is, or where it's been most beneficial for me, is when you've got a lot of data. That always helps, like a lot of data, a lot of conversion data, a lot of clicks, a lot of spend. But the way it's been most helpful is when you've got tons of different funnel keywords inside the same campaign, and you're trying to manage bids for all those different funnels. So you could have someone that's looking for the exact thing that this service is, and then you could have someone looking for the topic that this service is related for. So, like, not a good example, but you could have a moving company near me keyword, and then you could also have a keyword like moving, which I wouldn't really target historically with um with a moving campaign. But that's my point of, like, you have the actual business deep in the funnel, and then you have the topic that the business is related to, all those kind of keywords mid and high funnel. And sometimes it's tough over many campaigns and many different parts of the funnel to manage those bids all to get the same cost per lead. And that's where I found trying maximize conversions with the target CPA to be most helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what I like about the max conversions, and particularly the fact that you can essentially turn on the target CPA just by giving it a goal, giving it a purpose and a target, is that for a lot of people, it is the best solution for them because it's very simple and it's upgradable. You can start with max conversions and it'll run at a pretty high budget, kind of high intensity kind of level. And then as soon as you give it a target, it'll then pull it down to where you want. It's kind of like having a bid, but with the max conversions turned on. So it's automated plus a bid. And there's no such thing as that in max clicks, for example. There's no such thing as a target. You can just put a ceiling, you can put a CPC cap, but you can't put a target in there. So
I think as you and I see maximize conversions work better and better with all these new features, and they just seem to be working better than they did in the past. I think we're getting less and less interest in maximize clicks, as long as you have some conversion tracking in place, because if it's going to work with conversion tracking, why not run that? Now, the same things still apply, like back in the day, like, okay, well, what if the data changes on you and you don't have control over those bids, in the sense like you're going for a $40 cost per lead, and then you get that, and then a year goes by and all of a sudden you're getting an $80 cost per lead and you don't want an 80. What do you do? That's where manual can kind of save the day. And also getting the most possible from certain specific keywords. That's what manual can also provide. But I've just been surprised at how well I've been seeing maximize conversions work these days.
Yeah.